This program is intended for a mature audience. If you are not 18 or older, stop listening and find more age-appropriate content. The show will cover serious topics in a satirical manner. If you are offended by any content herein, that is your own problem, as you have been warned. Do not try this at home or anywhere else.
Okay, as the music's fading out, we're going to start this show with a dull roar, as always. I'm kidding, this is going to be the first episode. Hey, I'm Gary the Hammer. You're listening to Hammer Approved on the Bad Habits Network. When it comes to the bad habits, we know the best ones. Now, many of you guys are probably looking at this going, Hammer Approved? Really? No one's made any announcements, no one's made any formal decorums, addendums, Adirondack chairs, whatever you want to call it, to anything coming to the network outside of Late Night Vaping with Aiden. Well, what we're going to be doing with Hammer Approved, I have hats of many, and I figured, hey, a jack of all, a master of none should probably get his own and do his own. And basically what I'm going to do with this format is critique or review certain things, such as topics in society, you know, that famous hammer rants and crap like that, or maybe some vapor product, definitely a cigar here or there, maybe some beer, maybe some booze. Gee, it's the Bad Habits Network. What else can we cover? Maybe if you guys want to suggest something, I will probably give it a thumbs up just to try it out and see what's up. It's an open forum. I'm going to give everything and everyone a fair shake to what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, basically all that. Now, have this in mind. You guys, if you're listening to this, you have signed up. You can turn it off at any given time you want. I understand that. Thank you for your download. If you're leaving at this point, goodbye. Thank you. For those of you who are staying on for Hammer Approved, thank you even more for the download. We're going to be doing a whole bevy of things. I can't reiterate this enough. Mainly one of the things I'm gonna probably start doing with this is might have the Geek Daddy himself on. Most likely will have the Geek Daddy himself on, or have him run the website, or at least the blog to the website. I will be definitely be interacting via the listeners. Like I said before, if you guys want to suggest something to do or something to review, go ahead. You're not going to agree with everything I say. You're not going to like everything I say. And you guys have tuned in to Hammer Approved. This isn't you approved. This is Hammer Approved. I'm going to be sharing my opinion about everything and anything I want. You guys might like it. You guys might not. Freedom of speech. Come on. As I say that, I sit there and think to myself, freedom of speech. What the fucking hell is that concept lately? With all the crap that's going on in politics. I mean, Donald Trump, that idiot's running his mouth about, you know, he's using his First Amendment right quite fervently. And then you got good old Bernie Sanders, and dude, politics are just going to be probably something we're going to handle on shots from the balcony. You know. But I got to try and figure out something for this episode right now, so I'm actually going to be hooking up here in a few minutes my little NeBox from KangerTech. I'm going to just riff on that for a minute. Now, vaping, still there's a lot of unknowns. I like it personally. It's gotten me helped getting me off the cigarettes. big time. I got the little red edition NeBox. It's, again, Kanger manufactured, KangerTech. There's a lot that I still have yet to play with on this. You can set the temperature. You can actually set the temperature to like anywhere from like 200 to 800 degrees Fahrenheit. It also has a, what's that, Celsius? Yeah, Celsius setting. You can regulate the ohms, the watts. It comes with a built-in tank and a built-in battery port. Now, I've heard a lot of troubleshooting needs to be done with this little handy-dandy thing. I personally have it and chose to get it mainly because of travel purposes. It's about, I'm going to say, 2/3 less the size of a pack of cigarettes. It's handy. It's lightweight. I'm going to guess a couple ounces maybe. Let's just say I'm not going to be throwing it at anybody anytime soon, because that could probably be considered an act of murder or an attempted murder. And that's just not me. I do like the fact that KangerTech puts its little label on it, like the little circle label on it. However, what I don't like about that is you can actually see the battery. Now, the battery itself is one of those stick batteries for a regular stick sub box or sub box or whatever you want to call it, say it, or however. Many people, I believe Samsung makes a lot of these. They're handy dandy. It helps basically nail the battery, the energy, not the battery, but the energy required to use when you push the button. Now, the safety feature on one of these is how long you press it, so you're not burning your coil or burning your I know I'm doing a civil disservice here. Ionizer, something like that. Atomizer, there it is. I know you guys just went, oh, dude, just get on with it. The atomizer or coil it's interchangeable. You can change from like certain wattage temperatures or whatever. Mine, the one I chose, is to go with the higher voltage capabilities, anywhere from like, I think it's 30 to 40 watts. I go through coils like nobody's business. And if you're going to be vaping as hard as I do or cloud chasing as much as I do, I would actually suggest using the higher regulated KangerTech atomizers for this box. Even if you don't hit it as much as I do, I actually would recommend spending the extra couple of bucks and hooking up that for the NeBox or any box. Or I'll research that a little bit later. I've talked about the tank. It's built in. The battery, it's built in. It has this nice little interchangeable. You can remove the mouthpiece. It is interchangeable. I have a couple mouthpieces from various listeners. Thank you, guys. Currently, I'm just using the one for the NeBox, the one that came with the box. What comes with the box, actually, when you open it up, is the NeBox itself. The tip, a battery, 2 coils, and some hardware, like a miniature screwdriver, and a coil that you can actually do yourself. Now, I'm a lazy vapor, a lazy cloud head, so to speak, or lazy cloud chaser, whichever you want to call us. I will just keep switching out my atomizer, or coil, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know too much about dripping or anything like that. I'm going to get into it more, hopefully, when I have more leisure time to do so. Now, with the regulations going on with vapor and the anti-vapor movement, I should say, it's getting harder and harder to vape wherever you want. Hell, they're going to probably say, hey, it's bad for you to do it in a car. No. The only problem I have with vaping in a car, and I'm going off on a tangent, I know. The only problem I have with vaping in a car is you got to clean the fucking windows all the damn time. All the damn time. I mean, if there's even a speck of dust in your car, in your work truck, in your home, it's gonna, and you smoke, or you vape, excuse me. Ooh, shoot me for that one, people. Well, don't shoot me, just, hit me up on that one. If you do vape near a window, the vapor itself is going to probably, it's vapor, come on, it's like fucking blowing steam on a window, and that steam gets dirty, or it collects dust, or it collects dirt, or if you have, heaven forbid, one of those windows that's of less quality than the American made that you're used to growing up with, it's gonna get dirty fast. I continuously have to clean the work truck windows as well as my personal vehicle windows. So anyway, back to the NeBox. So far, I've found it to be quite convenient, very handy. The kids, you got to keep it away from them because they're going to look at it and be like, ooh, something shiny, something new. All kids are like this. I do not advocate underage vaping. I do not advocate any underage anything. I want everyone to do this responsibly. Use the regulations that are set before you. There is a reason for that. Some you're not going to agree with. Some I don't even agree with. Like, with beer or alcohol. You join the military at 18. Come on, guys. You should be at least have a little bit more freedom with that idea. So anyway, back to the NeBox. I've heard a lot of complaints about this, believe it or not. I've had some of these complaints actually happen, and they're easily correctable. You drop it, it gets nicked. Okay, that's depending on your color, or cosmetic, or anything like that. You can find nail polish, and I mean, I've dropped mine a couple times, yeah. I've also put stickers on mine. To make it a little cuter, make it a little funner, or more fun, excuse me. The grammarians just went, dude, you said more fun, or you said funner. Okay, yeah, I got you guys. I've dropped mine a couple times. I'm going to probably take some red nail polish and just touch it up a little. Now, the other thing I found out with these Kanger NeBoxes, I'm going to have trouble saying that apparently a lot. KangerTech does have protective casings for it, and there's also some companies, you can find them on the inner tubes or Amazon. They got skins, there's even leather covers, like a cell phone cover. There's a trick with those. There's some of them are finicky. If you have them covered on the bottom, be careful because that's where your air hole intake is. Your air intake is. Some of the guys that are, just throwing it out there just to throw it out there and get, the quick buck for these skins or covers for this thing, need these holes in the bottom for aeration that they have need to be bored out a little. So my trick for that, if it's leather, find somebody who's got a leathersmithing hole punch, or I don't know, fucking, I know that's a hard thing to find as somebody who knows leathersmithing, for Christ's sake. The alternate thing is you can just cut the bottom off or out. Me personally, if I do get, more like if and when I do get one of these, I'm probably going to go stick with the brand name because the brand name knows the brand type, if you guys are following me on this one. I don't like going off brand, but sometimes it's a good idea, especially if you got a quick buck or need to save a quick buck. Now, you can go to your local shop, brick and mortar vapor store, and pick these up for a reasonable price. Generally, you can find them anywhere, depending on your sale, depending on your store, depending on your economy, depending on your taxes and all this other crap. You can find these generally for like anywhere from $50 to up to $90. like I said, it all depends on the sales and all the other prices of your local brick and mortars or wherever you're finding these, such like, the inner tubes again. But I actually, with this, I would support your local brick and mortar. They need your help. All regional help is good. So, I mean, yeah, carrying on. There's another problem. There's another problem that people have had with these. And it's the leaking. Leaking. What I mean by that is you load up all your juice. And by the way, the tank is awesome. It holds about 10 ml. You usually buy them in your e-juices. You usually can buy them in like 15, 20s, 30s, 50s. Hell, even I've seen them even for 120s. Bless your heart if you're going to do that. Wow, that is pricey. But it's worth it in the long run. I mean, you can mix your own too. I mean, especially with stuff like Canopy out there, where you find your own nicotine and stuff. But with the tanks on these NeBoxes from Kanger, I've heard a lot of leaking. Meaning, you set it down, and all 10 milliliters drip or leak out. Problem. This is a huge problem because juice ain't cheap. It's affordable, but it ain't cheap. Big turnoff for a lot of people. Easily troubleshot. Turn it back upside down like you're going to refill it. You unscrew that little aerator where your atomizer goes, where you switch out your atomizer. Make sure your atomizer is tightened before you put it in there. Make sure you're not misthreading. Make sure you're not misthreading the cap. Make sure you got the right atomizer device too. That's a big key to this unit too. I accidentally made the mistake of getting the wrong type of atomizer. I'll give you guys a hint. It's a little red rubber band at the bottom of the atomizer. That's what's going to help you out with this one. I think for the more advanced units with their atomizers, the interchangeable atomizers and such, the blue ones are for like SU boxes, sub boxes, the higher, more complex models of KangerTech. But KangerTech also is not limited to making tanks and other products. I mean, seriously, check them out. They're gonna probably not ever hear this episode and be like, fuck them. It's just Hammer. He approves it. Thanks. Big trick. If it leaks, you don't want it. No one wants it. I do. It's easily troubleshot, folks. Again, it's easily troubleshot. Retighten it. Undo it. Fill it back up with juice. Make sure the SOB is tightened. Big time. That way you're going to avoid that leak. And what you can do to tighten this, I didn't realize that you could fit a quarter, maybe a penny, maybe a dime. It's about as easy as it gets right there, folks. You can use a house key. I do. Don't tell the missus. Teasing. Tell her. She ain't gonna care. Now, when it comes to what juice you want to put in, I'd actually recommend researching your juices and make sure when you go in to your brick and mortar, because this is why I advocate brick and mortaring. These guys know, generally, if you go to a good one, you find a good one, these guys generally know what you're looking for. These guys generally have a good idea of what you're looking for. Many flavors, many types. There are, believe it or not, juices designed for dripping only. There are also ones that are designed for the pen vapors only. Prime example, what you find in your gas stations. Those are the ones for the little pen sticks, or the little, the little lanyard, tiny little lanyard, cute little thing. That, and I'm not bashing on that. I'm glad you're part of the community. Always talk to your local brick and mortar shop, especially if you know you can trust them. My guys, well, they're on the network. Go figure. I got it easy. I got it made. Find your guy or shop. Again, I cannot stress enough to get more information about what you're doing. Always educate yourself before you're going to pick up a bad habit. Know what your risks are. Know what the repercussions could or could not be. Now, there's a lot of studies on vapors. There's a lot of inconclusive studies on vapors. We're going to get into that probably with another show called Late Night Vaping with Aiden. Check them out. Right now, I'm rocking the Kanger NeBox, NeBox, whatever you want to call it. It's got a 10-second cutoff switch too. That's nice. That's very nice. Because, like I said, I'm a lazy vapor, and sometimes I don't pay attention to what I'm doing. I will try, and I've accidentally done it. I've tried to do more than 10-second drags. It's got a cutoff switch, and it's really fantastic because if you put this thing in your pocket without shutting it off, and to turn it on and turn it off, the intake button or the operation button, you press it 5 times in a row, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it turns right off. And then we do it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turns right on. It says KangerTech. Nice little, hey, cool. What's up, dude? The other features it has, and I forgot these. You can actually, it has underneath the LED screen, or, you know, a nice little wattage control. You can up the wattage, down the wattage, up the temp, down the temp. Me personally, I'm a guy who doesn't like to do the temps because that eats your battery up a lot quicker than what you'd normally do. Underneath these 2 little buttons, and it's all up and down, it's all horizontal. It's big circle for your intaker, or your operation button, LED, and this is all going downward. LED, your up wattage button, up temperature button, your down temperature, down wattage button, and then underneath, this is something I don't really use too much because I don't want to take the chance of frying my unit. I'm really afraid of doing that. But there is a charge port. You can actually charge the battery while it's in there. Now, again, I'm a lazy vapor. I'm a lazy cloud head. I'm a lazy cloud chaser. Whatever you want to call me. I'm lazy. I'm fucking lazy. That's why I got the NeBox. I'm fucking lazy, folks. It's conveniently lazy. That's the best thing I can say about this fucking unit. It's conveniently lazy. I have 2 batteries, at the very least. 1 fully charged at all times. When this thing goes out of juice, or when the battery runs out of juice, it's going to just be like sucking through a big straw with nothing at the end of it. You're going to get a nice, clean, crisp, fresh breath of air through that. That's when you change your battery. That's another good thing. It'll still have enough juice to tell you, hey, change your battery, stupid. But it'll still stay on. But you won't be able to operate it. You won't be able to take a nice rip. I'm going to take one right now so you guys can hear what this sounds like. You're going to hear probably the same sound on similar on similar shows on the network. You've heard it before. Some people are like, what the fuck was that sound? Well, here it is. I'm going to take one hell of a fucking rip on this. Okay, guys? Maybe it's going to be 10 seconds. Maybe not. You're going to bear with me, and you're going to enjoy it because it's going to be fun. Either way, it's entertaining and informational. Informal? No, it's not informal. I've cursed quite a few times in this episode. So here it goes. Big cloud, man. That was a good 10-second one. It actually cut out right as I was letting go. Wow. But that's the sound you're going to hear. It sounds like it actually sounds like a straw. Now, here's something I forgot to talk about. When you guys are changing out your atomizer, your coil, if you're the lazy vapor like I am, and you're, changing out your coil. I used to throw coils left and right until I found the right coil, okay? With this box, at least. Prime it, and if you guys don't know what priming is, I'm going to tell you right now. You cover your intake holes after you switch out everything, after you make sure everything's tightened up, the atomizer to the cap, and then the cap to the unit. Make sure everything's super tight. Key thing right there. Don't misthread it. If you need to, here's another trick to make sure you don't misthread it. Keep undoing it. Like, put it back in and unscrew it again until you hear the click or until you feel it click. Stop immediately after you do that and then try to tighten it with your fingers, meaning righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And then take that coin, take that key, take that screwdriver, like a regular household screwdriver works too on these things. Do not poke in that hole. That's the biggest thing I can advocate on this thing. Do not poke in that hole. And keep the port clean. Definitely, I'll get into that one in a second. Prime. Every time you get a new atomizer, you swap a new one out. Prime or coil. Prime. I cannot stress that enough. Otherwise, you're going to get that. It tastes like burning. Literally, it does taste like burning. You're going to, what you're doing and what that is you did not, before you even put that atomizer in, make sure the juice you've refilled with, there's cotton in that thing. There is cotton in the middle of, yes, cotton. I don't know what KangerTech uses just yet. I'll research that further. It's got cotton in that atomizer, right in the middle of it. I mean, seriously, if you got one right now and you're listening to this episode and setting your own up right now, it's got cotton in that, like Japanese cotton or something. And yes, I know I'm giving a lot of bastardizational explanations here, and I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm working on that, folks. What you're going to do with that cotton in that little atomizer, is it atomizer? Let's call it a coil. We're going to call it a coil from here on out, folks. Take that coil. You're going to look at it. It's got two little white areas on that for the time being. Take your juice on the outside. Get a nice small dab of juice on those white areas. You want to saturate that cotton. I cannot stress that enough. I did not know when I first was starting this bad habit, about this, and I got burned, literally. You're taking a big rip of burnt cotton. That's what that taste is. It's electric burnt cotton. It tastes horrible. Some of you guys are already knowing what it is, and it's called a dry hit. The reason it's called a dry hit is exactly the reason what it is. It's a dry fucking hit. There is no juice on that cotton. That cotton is dry. And we all know that smell, that burnt electrical smell, most of us have been privileged to. And it is horrid. It even tastes like it smells. Like I said, it tastes like burning. This is the way around that, okay? It's called priming your coil. You do all that I just mentioned. Get it nice and juicy. Put all your, well, not nice and juicy. Just get it a little juicy. A little dab will do ya. A little dab will do ya. Like the teacher told you in kindergarten. I know. I just totally gapped a generation there. After you get it all set up and back in, sometimes I would advocate using rubber gloves while doing all this, by the way, because, any of us novice to advance, well, I wouldn't say novice, but, novice, the neophyte wouldn't know this just yet. Maybe not. Getting juice on your hands, it's like getting Elmer's glue on your hands. It's there until you really, really wash your hands. The big big thing when priming your coil. Cover the aerator, or the hole, or the intake port. Cover that up with your thumb, or the fatty part of the palm of your hand, or something. And if you don't think it'll work, just try. Now, what you're going to do here, if you're following me at home, I got this on my palm. You're going to, for lack of a better term, try and take a rip without pressing your button. Take a basic rip while covering that up. What that's going to do is that's going to actually... Here comes the giggity moment. You're going to suck the juice. And yes, I just giggled. You're going to suck the juice through your coil. That's priming it. That's preventing a dry hit. Like I said, I can't advocate enough to do that. It sucks taking a dry hit. So, do I approve of the NeBox? Absolutely. Do I love it? For now, until something better comes along. I'm kind of that way, you know. Just like the Geek Daddy. Ooh, something shiny, something new. And yes, mad shout out to you, Geek Daddy. So guys, enjoy what you're doing. Do it responsibly. And just be polite about it too. That's the other thing we got to talk about here, folks. Vaping etiquette. We're going to get into that in another one. So, thank you. This has been Hammer Approved. Peace.